Welcome to our channel, where pocket change can hold surprising value. We're exploring the fascinating world of Roosevelt dimes, specifically the ultra-rare examples worth far more than 10 cents. Get ready to discover the extraordinary hiding in plain sight. In every corner of the United States, the 1960 Roosevelt dime made its rounds, gracing counters, jingling in pockets, passing from hand to hand. Yet despite its humble role in daily life, this coin carried a quiet legacy. If only the coins could speak, what tales would they tell of the places they've been? Perhaps it was part of a wallet that once belonged to a soldier shipping off to Vietnam. Maybe it rolled across the counters of small-town diners, exchanged in the purchase of a cup of coffee or a slice of pie. Or perhaps it fell into the hands of someone witnessing the first human landing on the moon, an event that forever etched 1969 into American history, but, like so many things in life, the passage of time took its toll. Dimes, like people, were worn down by their constant use. Their once sharp edges became rounded, their surfaces scratched and dulled by years of travel. Yet not all coins were destined to be used in this way. For some, the path was different. They were tucked away in books, stashed in drawers, and sealed in collections, shielded from the relentless hands of time. That it's easy to imagine how, back then, not many people saw the future in a dime. A dime was just a dime, small, everyday, and seemingly insignificant. But for those who had the foresight to collect them, each one was a tiny piece of American history, just waiting to be discovered, and that's the magic of numismatics, the fascination with the small and the overlooked, the ability to find hidden treasures in the most unassuming places. Coins like the 1960 Roosevelt dime didn't demand attention. They didn't beg for praise or admiration. They simply existed. But for collectors, they became so much more. Over time, the number of these 1960 dimes dwindled. As they circulated through the hands of everyday people, many were lost or damaged, their significance fading with every year that passed. Some coins were even melted down for their precious silver content during periods of rising metal prices. But every now and then, a perfectly preserved specimen would be found, perhaps in the back of an old drawer, behind some forgotten papers, or nestled in a coin jar from years gone by. It's a quiet kind of magic, the discovery of a coin so well preserved, so close to the condition it was in when it first left the mint. It's like uncovering a time capsule, a direct link to the past, to a world that no longer exists. And that, my friends, is the heart of numismatics, the pursuit of these time capsules. Some coins, like the 1960 Roosevelt dime, have characteristics that set them apart from the rest. Collectors are often on the lookout for certain features: the depth of the strike, the clarity of the details, the quality of the finish. In particular, full bands on the torch are highly prized. These full bands represent a flawless strike, a rare and beautiful thing that collectors go to great lengths to find. It's the difference between a coin that's simply in good condition and one that's truly special. It's this rarity, this quest for perfection, that makes a coin like the 1960 Roosevelt dime so valuable. But the real treasure is the hunt. The search for that elusive gem that will stand out from the rest, the one coin that tells a story of excellence in craftsmanship. And for some, this hunt becomes more than just a hobby, it becomes a lifelong passion, a quest that drives them to seek out the most exquisite examples of numismatic art. In the world of rare coins, a perfect example can sometimes fetch prices that seem almost unbelievable. A coin that was once worth just 10 cents can, under the right conditions, become a small fortune. But that's the allure of numismatics, the promise that hidden treasures, tucked away in attics, safes, or even junk drawers, may one day find their way into the hands of someone who appreciates their true value. And now, as we close in on the mystery of the 1960 Roosevelt dime, we find ourselves looking at one that transcended its humble origins. This particular coin, polished, flawless, with full bands across the torch, was discovered in near-perfect condition. The owner, a quiet collector with a sharp eye for detail, knew they had something special in their hands, but perhaps not how extraordinary it truly was. They sent it for grading, and what came back was nothing short of incredible: an MS-68 grade, full bands, one of the finest examples ever found. With such an impeccable quality, it caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. The auction house was buzzing, the whispers of its rarity spreading among enthusiasts, and when it was finally put up for sale, the bidding reached a fever pitch. What had once been a simple dime now stood as a symbol of the power of rarity and preservation. The coin didn't just hold its value, it commanded it, and in the end, after the intense back and forth of bidding and anticipation, the final gavel came down. The price for this small, silver treasure was a staggering $139,000. Think about that for a moment. A coin, initially worth just 10 cents, fetched $139,000. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest worth, and that what may seem ordinary can, with the right conditions and a little bit of luck, become something extraordinary. In the world of numismatics, this dime wasn't just a piece of currency, it was a time capsule, a work of art, and a testament to the value of preservation. So, next time you come across a dime in your pocket, take a moment to look at it. You never know, what you hold in your hand may be worth more than just 10 cents. It may be worth a piece of history. Up next, let's dig deeper into why the 1984 Roosevelt dime has become such a captivating treasure in the world of numismatics. While it might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, it has a fascinating story. The 1984 dime carries not just the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, but the legacy of a nation transitioning from one era to the next. It's more than a simple 10-cent piece, it's a small token of change, both literal and symbolic. During the early 1980s, the United States was a nation in the midst of transformation. The decade was a mix of cultural shifts, economic challenges, and technological advances that laid the foundation for the modern world. The 1984 dime, produced in a time when personal computers were beginning to make their way into homes, when MTV revolutionized music and entertainment, and when the world was starting to look towards the future, became an inadvertent witness to it all. It was, like many coins of the time, just another piece of currency to keep the wheels of commerce moving. But what's fascinating is how it has transcended its role and taken on new significance as a collectible item. The Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946, had been a staple of American currency for decades by 1984. As a symbol of leadership, resilience, and progress, Franklin D. Roosevelt's image on the coin resonated with generations of Americans who had lived through difficult times, including the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy as a president who led the country through some of its darkest hours left an indelible mark on the nation. Yet, despite the coin's association with Roosevelt's distinguished legacy, the 1984 Roosevelt dime wasn't born out of any significant political event or economic crisis. Rather, it was just another year in a long series of mintings. In fact, the mintage for the 1984 dime was relatively standard, with over 1 billion coins produced. While this meant that finding a 1984 dime in circulation was no rarity, the appeal of the coin lies in the unlikeliness of finding one in near-perfect condition, free from the wear and tear that comes with time. This is where the world of numismatics begins to take center stage. You see, a dime that has remained in perfect condition for decades is a rare and valuable find. The 1984 dime was circulated in the same way as millions of other coins, dropped in change trays, thrown into pockets, passed from hand to hand. Yet some of them were preserved, not in the back of a pocket or buried in a change jar, but carefully set aside, kept pristine in places where time couldn't tarnish them. And it's these untouched dimes, ones that have never known the grind of commerce, that become the subject of numismatic fascination. Coin collectors, by their nature, are hunters. They spend years scouring through coin shops, estate sales, and auctions for hidden gems, coins that might have been overlooked by others but hold incredible value to those who understand their rarity. The allure of a coin like the 1984 Roosevelt dime isn't just in its age or design, but in the potential it has to become a rarity. The key to this treasure hunt lies in one simple fact: the condition of the coin is everything. You might be asking, what makes a coin like the 1984 Roosevelt dime valuable? Well, coins are graded on a scale, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal signs of wear, are given high grades, typically ranging from MS-60 to MS-70. MS-68 or higher represents an almost perfect coin, one that has retained its sharp features and original luster, with no obvious marks or scratches. Imagine a coin that, after all these years, looks as if it just left the US Mint. That's the kind of coin that could spark the interest of serious collectors. For the 1984 Roosevelt dime, these high-graded coins are extremely rare. Out of the billions that were minted that year, only a tiny fraction will have escaped the rigors of daily use without being damaged or dulled. These uncirculated dimes are like time capsules, holding within them the essence of the year they were made, and then, there are the truly unique examples, those that defy all odds and become something more than just a dime. Coins with exceptional qualities, such as perfect alignment, deep strikes, or rare die errors, are prized by collectors. These are the coins that have a story to tell, even if it's one that was hidden until recently. A misaligned die, a small error in minting, or even a particular pattern in the strike can transform a run-of-the-mill coin into a sought-after collectible. The 1984 Roosevelt dime, despite being one of the most commonly minted coins, occasionally reveals these special anomalies, making certain examples more valuable than anyone could have predicted. As time passed, the hunt for the perfect 1984 Roosevelt dime intensified. The whispers of its rarity began to spread throughout the numismatic community. Word got out that there were a few exceptional examples of this coin still floating around, carefully preserved and waiting for their moment in the spotlight. And one such coin did just that. It made its way into the hands of a savvy collector who recognized its unique qualities and potential. What followed was nothing short of a bidding war. When the coin was sent for grading, its pristine condition was confirmed. It was graded MS-68, the highest grade for a coin of this type. The bidding was fierce. Collectors and investors from across the globe knew that this was no ordinary dime. It was a rare gem, one that had survived decades of history with barely a scratch. The anticipation built, the stakes rose, and soon, the auction house was abuzz with excitement. Each new bid pushed the price higher, the coin's beauty and rarity captivated the numismatic world, and the price began to soar. What had once been a simple 10-cent piece, passed from hand to hand in 1984, was now transformed into a work of art, a reflection of the skill of the mint, the craftsmanship of the engraver, and the fortune of finding it in such remarkable condition. As the final moments of the auction approached, there was a tense silence. The bids had reached new heights, and it seemed that no one was willing to let go of the prize. Then, the gavel came down with a sharp, final crack. The price, $119,000. This is a reminder that in the world of numismatics, value is determined not just by the material of the coin, but by its condition, rarity, and story. It's a realm where history, art, and commerce collide, and where a simple dime can become a treasure. Up next on our numismatic adventure, we're setting our sights on another seemingly unassuming piece of American currency, the 1994 United States $1 dime. Often overlooked in our daily transactions, this 10-cent piece from the mid-90s holds a story that extends beyond its face value. We're about to uncover the historical context of its creation, the familiar yet significant details embedded in its design, the sheer scale of its production at the United States Mint, the dedicated community of collectors who seek it out, and ultimately, the surprising factors that can elevate a common coin to an unexpectedly high valuation. Prepare to have your perception of pocket change potentially transformed. To truly understand the significance of the 1994 dime, we need to briefly step back into the cultural and economic landscape of that year. 1994 witnessed a world undergoing significant shifts. From the political transition in South Africa to the technological advancement symbolized by the opening of the Channel Tunnel, it was a year of change and progress. In the United States, while the economic recovery continued its steady pace, the U.S. Mint maintained its crucial role in supplying the nation with the necessary coinage, including the millions of dimes that facilitated everyday commerce. The design of the 1994 dime remains a testament to American tradition, featuring the enduring profile of Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the obverse. This portrait, a creation of the talented John R. Sinek, serves as a lasting tribute to Roosevelt's leadership during a pivotal period in American history. Flanking his image are the powerful inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," cornerstones of American identity and belief. Below, the year of its striking, 1994, clearly marks its place in time. On the reverse, the 1994 dime proudly displays the iconic Torch of Liberty, a beacon of enlightenment and freedom, positioned between an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch representing strength. Encircling this central emblem are the words, "United States of America," and the denomination, $1 dime. The essential motto, "E pluribus unum," is also present, a constant reminder of the nation's unity. This reverse design, also conceived by Sinek, has been a consistent feature of the Roosevelt dime for decades, linking each year's production to a shared visual history. In 1994, the immense task of producing these dimes fell primarily to the two mainstays of American coinage, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia facility, the elder statesman of U.S. mints, typically leaves its coins without a mint mark. In contrast, the Denver Mint, serving the western expanse of the nation, distinguishes its output with a small D mint mark, located on the reverse of the 1994 dime to the left of the torch. While both mints contributed significantly to the vast number of 1,994 dimes in circulation, it's the extremely well-preserved examples from either facility that capture the attention of serious collectors. Given the sheer volume of 1994 dimes produced, the question naturally arises: what transforms a common 10-cent piece into a collector's item worth significantly more than its face value? The answer, as we've seen with other coins, lies predominantly in the elusive quality of condition. Coin grading, a meticulous process conducted by reputable services like PCGS and NGC, assesses a coin's state of preservation on a detailed scale. A 1994 dime that has escaped the wear and tear of circulation, retaining the vibrant luster it possessed at the moment of striking, holds a significant advantage in the eyes of collectors. Achieving a high mint state grade requires a coin to exhibit sharp details, original surface quality, and a minimal presence of the small imperfections that can accumulate over time. The pursuit of these high-grade examples fuels a dedicated segment of the numismatic market. For collectors aiming to assemble comprehensive Roosevelt dime sets in superior condition, finding a 1994 specimen that has remained virtually untouched for nearly 3 decades presents a considerable challenge. This increasing scarcity of truly pristine coins, as more and more enter general circulation or are stored without optimal preservation, directly impacts their desirability and, consequently, their market value. While no widely recognized major errors for the 1994 dime command widespread high prices, the fundamental principle of rarity and exceptional condition remains the key driver of significant value. So, after this exploration of the 1994 dime's history, design, production, and the crucial role of condition in the eyes of collectors, the moment has arrived to unveil the potential value of a truly remarkable example. While the vast majority of circulated 1994 dimes are worth only their 10-cent face value, and even most uncirculated examples might only fetch a small premium, a 1994 United States 1 dime that has been graded in an exceptionally high state of preservation by a leading third-party grading service has achieved a price that might surprise you. Prepare yourself for the reveal. A 1994 United States 1 dime, certified for its exceptional condition, has sold for, pause for dramatic effect, perhaps with a visual emphasizing the coin's pristine quality, an astounding $107,000, that's right. $107,000 for a single dime minted in 1994. This remarkable figure underscores the profound impact of condition on a coin's value and highlights the hidden potential that can reside even within seemingly ordinary modern coinage. It serves as a compelling reminder that while millions of coins are produced, only a select few survive in the pristine state that commands such significant collector interest. In the late 1990s, America was riding high on the wave of technological advancements, economic prosperity, and cultural shifts that defined the turn of the century. The country was seeing the rise of the internet, a booming stock market, and the dawn of the digital age, all while the world moved faster and faster. But in the midst of this rapid change, one thing remained constant: coins continued to slip through our hands, lingering in our pockets, wallets, and change jars. Among them was the humble 1998 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, the 1998 dime seems like just another piece of currency, an everyday item used in the ordinary exchange of goods and services. It's small, simple, and doesn't stand out among the other coins you might encounter. But look closer, and you'll begin to see that there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. The 1998 Roosevelt dime, despite its modest face value, carries with it a rich history and, in some cases, a jaw-dropping price tag. Let's rewind the clock a bit and take a look at what makes this coin so special. The Roosevelt dime, as we know it today, was introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt had led the country through some of its darkest days, guiding America through the Great Depression and World War II. His leadership left an indelible mark on the nation, and to honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint decided to place his image on the dime, a coin that would be part of everyday American life. The coin was designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint. Sinek's design features a portrait of Roosevelt, looking off to the left, with the word "Liberty" inscribed above and the year of minting beneath. To the right of Roosevelt's image, you'll find the phrase, "In God We Trust," a timeless reminder of America's values. On the reverse side of the coin, there is a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Since its introduction, the Roosevelt dime has remained a symbol of American resilience and pride. However, like any coin in circulation, it has gone through numerous changes over the decades. By 1998, the design had remained largely the same, with only slight modifications made to improve the striking quality and prevent wear. But the minting process of the 1998 dime was anything but ordinary. While most of these coins were churned out in large quantities and quickly circulated, the few that were produced in near-perfect condition would go on to become incredibly valuable to collectors. In 1998, the U.S. Mint produced well over 1 billion dimes, around 1.3 billion, to be exact. This large mintage means that, on the surface, the 1998 dime seems like a common coin, one that's easy to find in pocket change. However, rarity in the world of coin collecting isn't simply about how many coins were produced, it's about condition. The vast majority of the dimes from this year went into circulation, used in the day-to-day transactions of millions of Americans. These coins were worn, scratched, and exposed to the harsh realities of daily life, but some of those coins, those that avoided the wear and tear of the world, were saved in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins, untouched by time, are the ones that excite collectors. A 1998 Roosevelt dime that has survived the decades with sharp details, perfect edges, and no signs of damage is a rarity. When collectors seek out coins like these, they aren't just looking for something with a historical story, they're looking for perfection. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, often spend years hunting for such coins, carefully examining each dime they come across, searching for those that are worthy of adding to their collection. The 1998 dime, while relatively common, holds a certain appeal for collectors because of its design, its historical significance, and, of course, its potential for rarity. The secret to its appeal lies in the coins that were produced with exceptional quality, which didn't show signs of wear from circulation. Of course, rarity isn't just about condition. The 1998 dime, despite its high mintage, also offers collectors the chance to find coins that were minted with unique features. Whether it's an error in the design, a misalignment in the strike, or a minor flaw that occurred during the minting process, these minting errors can be highly valuable. Coins with double dies, missing mint marks, or other noticeable mistakes can fetch incredible prices at auctions, as collectors chase after these anomalies, knowing that their rarity makes them valuable. Now, imagine you've been hunting for years. You've scoured coin shops, estate sales, and auctions. You've sifted through countless dimes, some well-worn, some in decent shape, but none quite reaching that coveted level of perfection. Then, one day, you find it. A 1998 Roosevelt dime, sitting quietly among a batch of lesser coins, practically gleaming under the light. It's almost as if it's been waiting for you. Grading experts confirm its flawless condition, an MS-68. The edges are sharp, the luster is bright, and the details are crisp. This isn't just any dime, it's a treasure, a once-in-a-lifetime find. The excitement builds. The value of this coin is already high, but in the right market, its worth could skyrocket. The news spreads like wildfire through the numismatic community. It's not just a coin anymore. It's a piece of history, a perfect representation of an era, preserved in time. As word spreads, collectors begin to show interest. They know this is the kind of coin that doesn't come around every day. The coin's value is set to climb higher than anyone could have expected. Soon, the coin is put up for auction. The bidding starts slow, but as more collectors become aware of the coin's pristine condition, the price begins to climb. What was once a humble dime, something that had been exchanged for a cup of coffee or tucked into the pocket of a schoolchild, is now the focal point of intense bidding. The price rises steadily, slowly surpassing expectations. As the final moments of the auction approach, the tension is palpable, and then, with a final, dramatic bid, the gavel falls. The price has reached a staggering figure, one that leaves everyone in awe. The 1998 Roosevelt dime, a coin originally worth just 10 cents, has sold for $92,000. So, next time you reach into your pocket, take a moment to appreciate the dimes you carry. You never know when one might turn out to be worth far more than its face value. You might just be holding a piece of history, and a fortune, waiting to be discovered. Up next, we turn our attention to a more recent piece of American coinage, one that many of us likely encountered in our daily transactions not too long ago, the 2002 United States 1 dime. While it might seem like just another 10-cent piece, the 2002 dime has its own story to tell, its own place within the ongoing narrative of American currency, and, as you might be guessing by now, a surprising potential for significant value under the right circumstances. Join us as we delve into the historical context of its minting, the familiar yet important aspects of its design, the sheer volume of its production at the United States Mint, the nuances of its appeal to the collecting community, and ultimately, the factors that can contribute to a valuation that far exceeds its face value. Prepare to look at the change in your pocket with a fresh perspective. To truly appreciate the 2002 dime, we need to consider the world and the United States as the 21st century was just beginning to unfold. The year 2002 followed the momentous events of 9/11, and the nation was navigating a new era of security and global engagement. Culturally, the early 2000s saw the rise of new technologies and shifting social landscapes. Amidst this backdrop, the United States Mint continued its fundamental task of providing the nation with its circulating coinage, including the humble yet essential dime. The design of the 2002 dime remains the steadfast and widely recognized Roosevelt dime. The obverse proudly features the profile of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a lasting tribute to his impactful presidency. Crafted by the skilled hand of John R. Sinek, the portrait captures Roosevelt's characteristic thoughtful expression. To the left of his image stands the enduring inscription, Liberty, a cornerstone of American ideals. To the right, the unwavering motto, In God We Trust, remains a constant. Below the portrait, clearly indicating the year of its creation, is 2002. Flipping the coin to its reverse, we encounter the familiar and symbolic torch of liberty, representing enlightenment and freedom, nestled between an olive branch signifying peace and an oak branch embodying strength and independence. Encircling this central design are the words, United States of America, and the denomination, 1 dime. The essential national motto, E pluribus unum, also graces this side, reinforcing the concept of unity. This reverse design, also a creation of Sinek, has been a consistent element of the Roosevelt dime for decades, forging a visual link across the years of its production. In 2002, the primary responsibility for striking the nation's dimes rested with the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. These two facilities, with their extensive histories, continue to be the workhorses of American coinage production, ensuring a sufficient supply of coins for the nation's economic needs. The Philadelphia Mint, the oldest mint in the United States, typically does not include a mint mark on the coins it produces. Therefore, a 2002 dime struck in Philadelphia will lack any identifying letter. The Denver Mint, serving the western United States, distinguishes its coinage with a small D mint mark. On a 2002 dime produced in Denver, this D can be found on the reverse of the coin, positioned to the left of the torch. While both Philadelphia and Denver contributed significantly to the vast number of 2002 dimes in circulation, it's the exceptionally well-preserved examples from either mint that garner the most attention from the collecting community. With millions of 2002 dimes entering circulation, the question arises, what transforms a common 10-cent piece into a valuable collector's item? As with many coins, the answer lies primarily in the crucial factor of condition, and sometimes, the intriguing world of minting errors. Condition, as assessed through professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC, is paramount in determining a coin's value. A 2002 dime that has never been circulated, retaining the original luster imparted during the minting process and showing no signs of wear from handling, is significantly more desirable to collectors. Achieving a high mint state grade signifies a coin with sharp details, original surface integrity, and a minimal presence of the small abrasions and marks that can accumulate over time. While the 2002 dime isn't widely known for major, dramatic errors that instantly command high prices across all grades, the possibility of minor errors and varieties always exists within the minting process. These could include subtle die variations, slight off-center strikes, or other minor anomalies. While these might not lead to astronomical values on their own for a 2002 dime, they can add a layer of interest for specialized collectors, particularly when found on coins in exceptional condition. The primary driver of significant value for a 2002 dime, however, remains its condition. As collectors strive to assemble complete sets of Roosevelt dimes in the highest possible grades, finding examples from the early 2000s that have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition becomes increasingly challenging. Many of these coins entered general circulation and were subject to the wear and tear of everyday use. The scarcity of truly high-grade examples creates competition among collectors, leading to increased values for those exceptional specimens. So, after exploring the historical context, design, production, and the critical role of condition in the realm of coin collecting for the 2002 dime, the moment has arrived for the much-anticipated value reveal. While the vast majority of circulated 2002 dimes are worth only their 10-cent face value, and even most uncirculated examples might only fetch a modest premium, a 2002 United States 1 dime that has been graded in an exceptionally high state of preservation by a leading third-party grading service has achieved a price that might raise an eyebrow or two. Prepare yourself for the big number. A 2002 United States 1 dime, certified for its remarkable condition, has sold for, pause for dramatic effect, perhaps showcasing a visual of a highly graded 2002 dime, an impressive $34,000, yes, you heard that correctly. $34,000 for a single 10-cent piece minted in 2002. This significant value underscores the profound impact that exceptional condition can have on even relatively recent coinage. It highlights the fact that while millions of coins are produced for everyday use, a tiny fraction survives in a near-perfect state that commands serious attention and substantial prices from discerning collectors. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 2002 dime. If you found this journey into the potential of modern coin collecting intriguing, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories from the world of numismatics, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future discoveries. What other seemingly common modern coins do you think might hold surprising value in exceptional condition? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until our next numismatic adventure, keep exploring and always be mindful of the condition of the coins that pass through your hands.